The three things that a car needs: food, water, and sex. Producing fruit, vegetable, pestle, stamen, at the least a plant. Ivy, cedar, holly. Plant only needs two things, three things. Common biological trait of human and plant pestle, stamen, male, female parts to produce fruit, vegetables, or honeys, which is sweet sugar, which is glucose, which is also five-finger insulin, which is also testosterone, which is testes or testes of the hypothalamus gland, pituitary, or the thyroid, to build height, weight, and length for the area of circumference of a human body and meat. If they act violent, that's because they didn't have sex, or they didn't drink, or they didn't eat. Everything else is simply uncivilized. But you know what you tell the kids? Ain't fair. Now, the car is a little different. What is it about a car and a house that get people tore up and go straight to war with a knife going, but I needed armor for my wax job, and shaved his legs and went to his brother and said, dear brother, chocolate is Ghirardelli, and if you bend over, I'll give you a raspberry. You know, that's what Mr. Noodle said. Mr. Noodles, what's a raspberry? St. Elmo's fire. You know what producers like me say about Lilo and Stitch, and Lilo is me of the ukulele with my dog Red Fleas of the rambutt that ran over my Green Beret Ranger shit from Kentucky, Benning, and of course Fort Bragg, and Texas, and Hawaii, and the Pentagon of Washington, New York, Florida, Mississippi, and Alabama, and Louisiana. And there's somebody that says, I want to know you. I said, why didn't you come out of the dark and stop hiding behind that serial killer, Jeffrey Dahmer? You know, a doctor would do that. I said, I'm not too brave because the Pentagon is really blowed up. So when you come in the background and somebody looks at your filing, you said, what was passing through NORAD that they could detect a frickin' plane called the Blackbird? That's I'm just saying, what's scrambling the airways saying 5150 is common trade around people? They just say that's the North. It's been happening about 30 years, isn't it? 40, 50 years when they say the insane asylum is where everybody goes, and they're like, well, who knows about the insane asylum better than Britney, bitch? I'm not sure what I said in Samoan. If she comes over here saying the tally ho and Robin Hood shows up, he's still nodding. He could be nodding the rest of the damn time, and I know everything about him. I'm Samoan, so if he thinks that he's got 5 to 10 million that he could do it, it's like asking me a question. If I was Japanese, I don't think the Japanese said anything about Oppenheimer Smith. And if you ask Scanlons what German is, well, how do we fit in with the German of Cyril of New York to Samoa, which is Pango Pango, and my island Tutuila, which is not an island, but of Samoa? We're just people, aren't we? So we're not playing for like rock, paper, scissors shit that the little kids say, and what do I do if he wants me to knock him in the face? That's assault with a deadly weapon, mister. And then Confucianism says he had been using the x-ray on people's heads to say brain waves come from his car. See the Jeep? What does a sonar got to do with that? It's going to land in his box. And he's going to stay the fuck down with that stinking shit flying around trying to explain that. There's no way that I could x-ray anybody. And it passed through NORAD. Up next, Star Wars, Star Trek, and Stargate, the movie. And you're going to pay for it. You won't see how a producer will pass it around at the guild. 40 years ago, they're going to design Stargate, scaled from San Clemente to San Francisco. Calorie after calorie to make sure you don't never do it again. So if you found something in the middle of the planet, it'd be all over Clemente, all the way up towards the San Francisco by coast. Rock after rock in the back of Malibu where nobody sees you. And that DNA you stole from us morning. Cloning, Star Wars, Star Trek, all that shit. Sony, let's go make it stink because you really got it, don't you? And you want somebody to come get it. And then when I burn it on this film, it's going to be like, who's 88 years old in here that actually just farts and says, that's my essay. And you get farted on by the civilian Jeep, and then the Jeep connects to the Bug, and the Bug connects to the Camaro. And the only way you can unlock that Camaro from doing anything other than black and yellow is listening to Sony Jack FM Color for City next on Hollywood.